Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over my favorite songs for the month of July. Where really did the time go, to be honest? I feel like I just recorded the video doing a list for my favorite songs of June, and now I'm already doing it for July. This summer, in general, I just feel like it's going by so fast, but it's been a great month for music, as opposed to June, where I thought it was a little lacking in terms of new music releases. There's been so much. I've reacted to a lot on the channel, and yeah, I'm really excited to break this down because there were a lot of enjoyable tracks released this month. Now, this is going in no particular order. Like, my first that I say is not the best, and the last that I say is the worst, or whatever. It's just kind of in a random order. But I do have a song in here that I love kind of more than the others. That is a potential Song of the Year candidate, which I will get to later on. But yeah, just letting you guys know this is not a ranking in any particular way. Starting off this list, earlier on in the month, Madonna released her comeback album in Confessions 2. And I have 3 songs that I have picked for this list. Off of that album, I have Danceteria, I have Everything, and I have Fragile. I tried to get a mix of genres for this list, and 2 of the most hard-hitting tracks on the album are Danceteria and Everything. The drop in Everything is incredible. One of the best produced songs on the album, and then Danceteria is also very well produced, but it is also super catchy and one of the most hooky tracks in the new album. It is a classic song by Madonna that feels really authentic to her. It is an incredible song. And yeah, I can't stop praising Danceteria enough. And then I also put Fragile in here. There were a lot of kind of mellower tracks in Confessions 2 that I thought were really enjoyable. The Test is gorgeous. LES Girl. So I thought I would give a shout out to one of the more kind of deeper lyrical songs as well, and Fragile being probably my favorite out of all of them. You guys have told me the backstory behind that track, and just it makes me appreciate it even more. It's about her brother who passed away, and now it almost like makes me cry whenever I re-listen to that song while paying attention to the lyrics. Those are the 3 that I picked from Confessions 2, but literally any song could have made this list. It is that good of an album. A song from the new Ryan Beatty album I have picked on this list is Delancey. I was really pleased with this new Ryan Beatty album, but in particular Delancey. I loved how stripped back it was. Has this jazzy, very nighttime, like Parisian, UK vibe. Like I love the style of it. Very jazzy. Mixed with, his voice and how he just, like, I don't know, his lyricism is also so good, and particularly in that track, but there's many other tracks in the album where his lyricism really flourishes. But yeah, again, I'm new to Ryan Beatty, but this album was very good, and Delancey is a standout track from that. Gorgeous track, and one of my favorite, more kind of like ballady tracks, probably of the entire year. 2 songs also from the Steve Lacy album, which I really enjoyed, that other people, seem to be getting mixed signals from the Steve Lacy album, but I thought it was very consistent. The intro track, Oh Yeah, is amazing. On par with the singles, in my opinion, in terms of quality. Nothing really beats the feeling, though, in terms of enjoyment for me, but Oh Yeah is an incredible intro. That synth lead is just chef's kiss with everything else that goes on in that song. And then Nice Shoes. Technically it was released back in 2025, but I didn't know that, so I first listened to it in the context of the album. It's a 2-in-1 song, so there's 2 tracks. It's Nice Shoes / In Your World, but it's such a well done song. It doesn't feel like it's too long, considering the length that it actually is. It is such a great produced track. Just an absolute standout for me in the context of the album as well. So 2 placements for Steve Lacy there. He really cooked with this album. I am very pleased with it. As well, a song that just recently came out by Slater. We have Brand New Chanel's. Of course it was going to make its way on this list. This is, again, a standout song in this whole era of Slater. Even the ones that came out with the album. This is a power pop anthem. The chorus just, you think it's going to hit hard, and then it hits 10 times harder, especially the second time. The song is just so well done. It might not be as kind of interesting production-wise compared to some of the songs on the album like Crank and Yes God. But I think the production is still very good. It's obviously just less interesting. But I feel like the showcase is now kind of on her vocals. And this is like a 10 out of 10 pop song. That hook is super, super enjoyable, and for me makes one of the best songs I think Slater has ever done. And I'm really looking forward to whatever she's going in, what direction for Worst Man in America. I believe that's the supposed album title. I'm just looking forward to whatever she has coming out next. One track from the new Ariana Grande album, which I thought was good. I thought was a solid body of work, but there were parts of the album that I was quite underwhelmed with. But a song that makes it on here is Kiss Me. That intro track really sets a good mark for the album, which is why I think I found it so underwhelming, is because of how, very electronic sounds in that intro track that made me think we were going to get more of this sound. The hook is fun. The production, the drums are so punchy and different. It's one of the most experimental tracks on the album, too, that I thought she could have leaned into that even more. And really come even more out of her comfort zone. But this is still a flawless track and my favorite off of Pedal at the moment. I'm sure that will change, but there are some very clear outliers in my favorite songs. I think there's the really good tracks, and then you have just the okay tracks. It's a very clear barrier in between what that is for me. Yeah, so a little underwhelmed, but Kiss Me is a standout in terms of how different and how just really, really interesting and different it is for Ariana to do a song like this. As well, we have the new Adella single. I'm so proud of Adella. This is performing really, really well on TikTok and the charts in general. This may be her, first big breakout moment, and I would love that for her if that were the case. Again, I mentioned in my initial reaction of this song is it reminds me something like Miley Cyrus, the Bangers era, just the male vocalist that is very, very deep, and that repetition is very, very like 2016 coded, sometimes even earlier in pop music. But yeah, it's so nostalgic, and I think that people have been craving for nostalgia, and this is a song to do it. It's a great pop song, and a very interesting direction from Adella, considering she started out her career with this very, very groundbreaking EP with a lot of interesting sounds, where it wasn't just basic pop that people could listen to and be like, okay, this is nice, this is enjoyable. No, it was groundbreaking. The production was great, the lyricism was great, the melodies are stellar. And while it's a different kind of switch from what she did earlier on in her career, she's nailing this with this and KGB. I'm really looking forward to when her album comes out on September 4th. I'm telling you, she is a star in the making. As well, a couple new songs from the Charli album. We have Persona and Magic Metal Montana. Now, I'm sure those will probably, switch on a dime for me. I've been listening to the album lots, but on my first listen, I think my favorites really came in the latter half of the album. In particular, like the 3-track run, even the 4-track run, Wink Wink, Persona, Magic Metal Montana, and No One Lasts Forever. That is a flawless run. Persona, I love that hook. She is spitting. I don't know who she's talking about. Some people think it's also partially about herself, but whatever. It is one of the most interesting lyrical songs. It's one of those albums where you can't judge it by its lyrics because they are quite basic at times. But that is a lyrical standout. Not just a lyrical standout. It is a very, very, very catchy track with interesting production. That line in the chorus, "Don't fucking choke on your ego. When you see me coming," like, wow, that shit is creative. And then Magic Metal Montana is really cute. And then kind of in the latter half of that track, you get that like it's very, very interesting. And yeah, that song always has something going on in it, which makes it very, very engaging. But the lyrics are cute too, talking about AG. It's a love story to AG, who they are just friends in their relationship. And I find that really, really nice from Charli. So yeah, those are my two standouts right now for music, fashion, film. But I'm sure they will swap on a kind of a daily basis right now. Espa is also on this list. I think you would have figured if you watched most of my reactions, that song was one of the most, like, clear favorite songs of me ever. Like, you could see my reaction, how kind of stunned I was by the production and sound of that. This is the lane that I think aespa should be taking. They have done their title tracks really, really well throughout their discography, but I feel like they keep doing it, and not to the point where it's bad, but it's just a little stale. And if they switch it up and do this as well, this bright and bubbly sound for, you know, their next title track in Korean, I can see this. This is a fit. Even the B-sides kind of follow the same trajectory for the Japanese mini album. The production on this is just, like, their delivery is good too. It matches the song. I don't know. I love this sound on them. And this is, again, a different style from aespa that we've never heard before. But I think it fits them super well. And it might be in contender for one of my favorite K-pop songs of the year. K-pop, I know it's in Japanese, but K-pop, you know what I mean? By a K-pop artist. I'm just editing this now and I realize I forgot to mention Arca and Arca's new album. So I wanted to add a couple of songs from Arca's new album to this list as well. Primarily, I would say Fxck and Willow. Those are, Fxck is this kind of crazy deconstructed club vibe that is really kind of the most energetic on the album. And it really reminds me of the stuff that I used to listen to on Kick that really got me into Arca in the first place. But that is a standout track just because of how chaotic and just really, really satisfying it is to listen to. And then Willow, it is basically the first track on the album, really gets you settled into this world that the album is in. Very sci-fi. There's church bells. There's like an eeriness to that song. It is so nice. Willow and Fxck come on this list. But Arca, I mean, that was a crazy album that Arca gave us. And there could have been so many other songs that I decided to put on this list, but those are my favorite right now. I can't believe I forgot about Arca. I can't. Two songs by Kelela in Kelela's new album. I was very impressed with this album. It is a different sound than I am used to, but it's kind of needed in my rotation right now. There's not a lot of albums that I listen to that sound like this, and that's a good thing. I love the style of production. It's very shoegazy and dreamy at times, mixed with this Jersey club, D&B vibe. So the two songs coming into this list are Crystalize in the bridge being a collaboration with Pink Pantheress. One of my favorite tracks on that whole album. I love the D&B vibes. It is very, very good, and Pink Pantheress steals the show with Kelela. They are just a match made in heaven, honestly. They have collaborated before, and it has also sounded so good, but their vocals on that track are just so good, complements one another really, really well. And it's a standout track, to be honest. It is one of the probably most beginner friendly like Kelela tracks on that album, where it's easier to listen to compared to the rest. And one of those tracks being Crystallize. It follows this shoegazy path that Idea 1 and I believe Out of Time. I can't remember that other song that also kind of had this shoegazy vibe, but and it was very dreamy. This is a gorgeous track. This is a gorgeous track by Kelela. No skips on this album whatsoever. New Avatar is a follow-up from Raven, which I've heard a couple of songs off of that album, and she really executed this album. The shoegazy, dreamy vibe mixed with what she has typically done, but leveling up those Jersey Club D&B vibes. It's just, yeah, it might be one of my favorite albums of the year. It's definitely in contention because she has brought something fresh to the game, I think. Now, I want to talk about my song of the year, Contender, that I actually did not react to on the channel. It came out on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and I like was hyped for this track to come out, so I listened to it late at night on my AirPods. My bad, guys. My bad, guys. But the song of the year is "Wanna Cry" by Ninajirachi and Porter Robinson. I haven't really talked about Ninajirachi too much on this channel, but her album from 2025, I Love My Computer, is one of the best electronic albums of that year. It is a top 5 album of 2025, for sure. And it kind of follows the same path with how well the electronic albums are doing this year. Underscore, Slater, Kim Petras, that kind of vibe. But something about Ninajirachi really brings this fresh vibe that is different from everybody else. Her lyricism is one of the best in the electronic game, stepping above even artists like Kim Petras, Slater, Tiffany Day even, but Tiffany Day also has a way with lyricism, but her style is more unique than anything. But going back to the song, this mix with Porter Robinson and Ninajirachi, it's just you have the album that is incredible, and then this is a step up. It's a little different sounding than what she kind of presented in this album, but this is so bright, this is so catchy, the production on this is so infectious. It is one of those songs where it's an absolute earworm, and you get it on first listen. I think you absolutely do. And Ninajirachi is just an absolute underrated icon that I think really knows how to make good electronic music that is, you know, also good lyrically. You can get by with poor lyrics in electronic music, but that combination of perfect lyricism by Ninajirachi, making it more emotional and deep, with the kind of production that she has, teaming up with Porter Robinson was a great decision, and is a song of the year contender. Absolutely go check it out if you haven't. I need to hear that in the club. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, rounding out my favorite songs for July. Again, a stellar month. One of the best months I've had on the channel in terms of new music releases, and I hope I can step that out. That can be stepped up for August even. I hope you guys enjoy these monthly videos, kind of getting a taste as to what my absolute top of the top favorites are. Because I know my reactions will be like, oh yeah, this is a good song, this is a great song. But you don't really know what is better than the other. And if it doesn't make it on this list, then you know I don't find it particularly the best in any category. But yeah, let me know your favorite songs of the month of July. Anything that was released in July or that you heard in July. That's kind of how I do these things. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys next month.